Fred, what's up today?
I figured you should talk about some wheat. How your wheat's gonna go for the spring.
Really?
What do you think about that?
I guess we can have a little chat. I wasn't too worried about it till the spring came.
Well, we want to get her off to a good start, so.
Right on. Oh, the plant went really good in the fall, so.
That's good.
And it looked good going into winter. But I don't know.
When was your earliest and latest planted wheat?
I think we started September 25th and probably finished October 25th. So
Okay.
about a month spread, but in the field it doesn't look much different.
So a good start.
Yeah, for sure.
Some starter fertilizer in there?
Yeah, 100 pounds of MAP with the air seeder.
Good.
And,
What kind of populations did you do?
we 1.7, 1.8 million. Like to keep her high. It's probably a little high for this year, but I think every seed grew, but it looks good. So.
We'll have to do a split app on that then.
Definitely, yep.
Yeah.
No, we started split apping probably 4 or 5 years ago, and probably get 8 to 10 bushels difference on average. Some years, not much difference. The next year it could be 20 bushel, right? So.
Yeah. Did you do the first application with urea and potash? Do your potash on there, or do you do all liquid? Or
All liquid. So the first app is we go sulfur, ammonium thiosulfate with 28, and then come back with just straight 28 the second time. So.
Good.
Yeah, it makes us busy for the sprayer, but it pays, right? So you do what you got to do.
Nice even stand.
As
Than
long as the
urea.
sprayer operator's a good guy.
Good thing you're in there, right? You're growing white wheat and soft red wheat,
Yeah,
right?
just soft red
Yeah.
and white wheat. We've grown hard red in the past.
Yeah.
And now with these premiums and stuff, it's definitely going to be in decision making this fall, right? One big question I was looking into was Prozero timing and if we should still be spraying it, right? And they're calling for a hot, dry summer, low disease year, right? Maybe. Should you still be putting Prozero on?
Yeah, I think so, because it doesn't just help with fusarium and DON levels, it helps with grain fill and grain size. So if you were to compare someone's sample that didn't have it versus someone that did, you would maybe see a grain kernel size difference, as well as they're not seeing a correlation between fusarium and DON anymore. So whether or not you have a high fusarium infestation, you might not have as bad of a DON value, or you'll have it worse than what was originally anticipated, say 5-10 years ago. So with that, and I'm a weather woman, so I can't really control the weather and I can't predict it either. So
You know, what's a good app now to check weather and future weather and for stuff like that?
well, actually, there's one that's called Weather Trends, and actually some of the companies actually have affiliation with, so like Pride Seeds, CNM I think has actually affiliation with Weather Central. So those are some weather apps or weather programs you can use to kind of trend your weather patterns in your area. You can put your fields on it and monitor your weather conditions around your field. It'll actually give you predicted heading timings.
Right.
Dawn advisories.
Yep.
Have you ever used a drone before?
No, I was wondering what you brought in here, what we were
It's
doing.
one of those cool little toys that like literally flies out, can do aerial views of your fields. And there's been some really interesting things on Twitter that people have been posting, fellow agronomists in the area. And they've been showing, this year especially, people be more concentrated on sulfur uptake just because our air's cleaner, so there's going to be more sulfur need to be applied to wheat and corn. And those are the two main ones right now, and alfalfa. But this gives you a really good overall perspective from the air, because obviously you can't fly, so you can see visual differences sometimes, like might be heading, timing, anything like that.
Cool.
Tassel.
Yeah, no, we can give that a go too. We've, I guess my question to you is, should we be trying something new? We're planting oats after our wheat every year. That's about as far as we've gone with cover crops, right?
Well, I guess it depends on what you want to do with a cover crop. That's usually what my philosophy is. If you're just going for ground cover, really oats is a really cheap way of doing that.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to do like a nitrogen fixation, you could put crimson clover. You could get back into the red clover game again by doing underseeding. So yeah, there's been some work, but I'd say oats is probably the most common just because it's cheap and it's easy, and you can put your fertilizer down with it because you do the fall broadcast, which is really good. And if you don't need to sell your straw, that's also another thing. You don't have to spend as much money on fertilizer removal because you're putting the straw back into the ground as well.
Gotta eat.
Yeah, I know, you do got 3 kids, so.
Is there anything else you need from me to get a plan going forward for?
I don't think so. We got all your
ready?
maps and everything for your farm. So what we can do is we can go by farm, and we have history of your weeds and everything like that in your farms because we have the data and everything like that in the computer and the iPad and everything. So we can do prescriptions for each farm if you want, based on your fertility and stuff like that. But
yeah, just shoot me an email with what
okay.
you need, and we'll
Sure.
go from there.